and entered her dreams, so that she tossed and turned at night, and her husband would say to her, "What is the matter with you?" And she would say, "I don't know." One day, when her husband had gone off to work, she was so tired that she lay down on the kitchen floor and went fast asleep. Her mouth opened and she began to snore, and this was a chance for her stories and her songs to escape. They whirled around her head, saying to themselves, "Well, we have nowhere to go, we can't leave her. What would she do without us?" So her stories became a robe which hung itself on the bedroom door, and her songs became slippers that settled themselves at the bottom. When her husband came home later in the day, he said, "Who is here?" And she said, "No one." He said, "Well, who belongs to that robe and those slippers?" She says, "I don't know." And a very heated argument followed. It went on and on until the evening time. But there was a law in this place that said, if a husband and wife had an argument, that the husband should go to the temple of the monkey god. So the husband left the house and stormed off to the temple. He took himself into a darkened room and he lay down on the floor to sleep. His wife sat at the kitchen table in great pathos. She didn't know what was going on. But finally, fatigue took over, so she blew out the candle, put her head on the table, and went to sleep. But in that place, when the candle lights were down, the temple of the monkey gods, to gather and talk about the day's events. So as the husband lay in his darkened room, flames began to enter. But it was very clear after some while that there was one flame that was late. And finally, when that flame arrived, he was asked, "Where have you been?" And the flame said, "Oh, my husband and wife had a big argument today. The husband found a robe and slippers, but he doesn't understand. The robe is the stories untold by his wife, and the slippers are the songs not expressed." The husband immediately knew, and he jumped up and hastened to his house. He woke his wife, and taking the robe down from the hook on the door, he tenderly placed it around her shoulders, and he took the slippers and bent down and put them on her feet. Then he sat down and said, "Wife, tell me your stories and sing me your songs. I will not leave here until I have heard all." From that moment on, laughter rang through that house. The wails of sorrow reached up to the rafters. The stories and the songs left the house, traversed the streets, entered the homes, flew to the mountains, went far and near to far, far places, across mountains, across rivers, oceans, and spread themselves out throughout existence. Are you still hindered? Are your stories and songs stifled within you? Are the tales of your experiences, your wisdom, kept under wraps in your heart? Do they disturb your dreams? Do you toss at night? Are you afraid to stand up and say the name of God because someone might not like it? Do you stop yourself from speaking because you think the person may not want to hear what you have to say? If you do, you shouldn't be sitting here. There's no time for that now. No stifling, no self-pity, no what about me, no poor little me, no nobody wants to listen to me. You have to shout it to the winds. You don't expect anyone to want to hear. Everyone's going about their own business. But that doesn't stop us at all. You shout it to the wind. Shout your story. Sing your songs. There's no more time for keeping the lids on what it is that you have to give.